Hey everyone, it's Pat from Pat Dev Music, and today we're checking out what is guitar tuning, why is it the way that it is, how to tune your guitar, and much more. Definitely grab your guitars because there's going to be some practical examples. I'm going to show you some free apps to use and a free guitar bench that you've already got at home. Let's start. Okay, so we're in the room and we're using our free guitar bench. Now what I mean by this is you guessed it, it's an ironing board, but it's so good because what that means is most households already have it. Even hotels often have them stored away as well. It's great because you can walk around the side, you don't have to sort of hunch your back over. You can adjust it so it's at a lowered height if you do want to try and sit down. I like it standing up because it means I can get to all the different parts of the guitar and I don't have to hunch back over and I can walk around the sides. I don't need to twirl the guitar around or anything like that. Now what we're talking about today is a few different types of tuning. Now this guitar is in E standard. What that means is it's just standard concert pitch, and what that means is you've got the thick string is E, the 6th string. The 5th string, the one below, is in A. The next one below is D. The 3rd string is G. The 2nd string is B. And the 1st string is another E. Now also very, very important to think about, if you've ever seen a tuner, just like this one that I'll show you now, and it has A equals 440, or it just says 440 Hertz. What that means, and it's so important to think about, is it means that this 5th string, A, is tuned to 440 Hertz. Now that's a different sort of frequency, and it means that that A is going to be in 440. Now you can change it, you can go lower, you can go higher, and you can tune your guitar that way, but it's going to mean, it might sound fine to your ears, but it means if you try and play with other instruments, they're going to need to be changed in order to compensate for that tuning. So if you're playing any standard guitar in any sort of music sort of shop that you can see, or you're playing an electric piano or a keyboard, anything like that, they're all going to be tuned to standard E standard tuning or concert pitch, or where the A string, the 5th string, is going to be 440 Hertz. That's the frequency that it's tuned to. Now there's a few different tunings that you can go through, and we will check out today. There's a couple tunings that you can do straight off the bat and you can do it at home, and it's really good. It's fun to experiment with different tunings. It's good to sort of learn how to tune by ear as well, which we will talk about, but it's also just really fun just to experiment. So when you are tuning on this side, and we will go through how I reckon you should restring your guitar in another video, but what it means is when you're in, if you're looking at the headstock here and you've got the 6th string, so 6th string goes to this tuner, 5th string here, 4th string here, and then it jumps on over. 3rd string, 2nd string, 1st string. Now don't stress, every beginner when they're starting out, maybe they're tired, maybe even intermediate and advanced players when you're tired, you're tuning the string, you put on new strings and you keep tuning and tuning and tuning, and you're like, why? What's going on? Why isn't it happening? And the string breaks. So it turns out you're playing a different string that you were tuning. Happens to everyone. Just try not to let it happen to you. Now what we're talking about here is you've got the E string here, the 6th string. Now, when you want to detune, you turn clockwise. So the note will go down in pitch. If you want to retune, you turn anti-clockwise. But it's actually the opposite on the opposite side. So when you've got the thin strings, it actually goes the other way. So for the 1st string, for example, if I turn clockwise, it goes up in pitch. And when I turn anti-clockwise, it goes down in pitch. So it's the opposite. So clockwise, choose down this side, and tunes up in pitch on the other side. Okay, so now that you know the strings and what each string should be tuned to, how are you going to tune them? So you can get whole foot pedals or stomp boxes, effects pedals, that are a tuner inside, that if your acoustic has a pickup on it or your electric has a pickup on it, you can just plug into. You can get tuners like this, where you can just plug your guitar into and also has a built-in microphone. This one has a metronome as well. It's from Korg. It's a really cool idea. Another idea is to get a headstock tuner like what we've had here. They can be found for relatively cheap. They have an inbuilt sort of piezo microphone system that senses the vibrations through the wood. So when you play a string, like I'm going to play here the 1st string, the E string, we'll turn it on. Oh, and just there it flashes and it says 440. So that's showing us that this is tuned to concert pitch, but you can change it. Now I'm going to pluck the 1st string, and see it's showing us that that E string is green and it is in tune. And you can play all the other strings, and if let's say the E string, the 6th string might be out of tuning, so it's detuning it before. Okay, so that's in tune, but if I was to turn it clockwise, remember it's going to go down. So now if I keep turning down, it's down there to D sharp. So if I want to tune it up to E, I have to go anti-clockwise. So I go up in pitch. So you just keep tuning till it changes to the note you want, which is E. Play it again. We've gone a little bit too far, drop it back a little bit. So you want the note to sit in the middle so that it's in tune. There we go. So you repeat that process with all of the strings. Remembering the clockwise on these 3 strings is detuning, anti-clockwise is going up. But you will be able to hear your ear, the pitch go either down or up. And remember, it's the opposite on the other side. Now, if you don't have a headstock tuner like that, or you've got one on order, or you spent all your money getting this awesome guitar and you just don't quite have enough money for the tuner just yet, another thing you can do is you can get this app. Now, the app is called Guitar Tuner, but it's spelled T-U-N-A, just like that joke, right? You can tune a piano, but you can't tune a fish. Classic joke. So with that Guitar Tuner, I'll show you how to use that now. Here's the Guitar Tuner app. Now, what's great about this is it's free, and it has all the different strings there. So you've got E, A, D, and then E, B, G on the other side. Now what's great is when you play it, you'll hear an audible sound of what the string sounds like. So you can even try tuning by ear, which we will look at in another video. But then you've got all the strings there, and all you do is it's always listening with the microphone there. So when you pluck the string, it's listening out for what the string is. Now the app needs to be a little bit closer, so we'll bring that a little bit closer. Let's go again. And when the string is in tune, as you can see, they get a little tick and you get a little audible confirmation, and it goes through. And what's great about this app is it'll actually tell you, and you can see visually where the string is. And it'll tell you too high, too low. It's going to show you exactly how to tune. It's a fantastic app, and it's free as well, Guitar Tuner. So that is standard tuning for any electric guitar out there that you've got. Now, if you do want to experiment and you have a bit of fun, here's a few different tunings that I think you're really going to like, and they're easy to do. The first one is drop D tuning. Now what that means is this 6th string, you're going to tune it down a tone or down 2 frets, down to D. So on your tuner, instead of this being an E note that you want, so an E note there, you want to move it down, which means you want to turn it clockwise until you get to not D with a little sharp, but just a flat D, just a normal standard D. There we go, beautiful. So now what you've got here is you've got D, A, D again, G, B, and E, and that's called drop D tuning. Let's check out what that sounds like on this acoustic guitar. Now what's great about drop D tuning is it's so much fun. It means now that instead of playing power chords with 2 fingers, you can use 1 finger, hold down 2 strings, and now you've got a power chord. It's so good, it's so great for just chugging away and playing some rock and metal riffs. Definitely check it out no matter what guitar you've got. Super easy to do. The next tuning, which you may not have seen or heard before, but it's so much fun to try out, is you take the first string, which is normally an E note, right? So you take the first string, and instead of turning clockwise, you turn anti-clockwise on the first string to go down, and you want that string from an E, you want that down to a D as well. There we go. So now what it means is we've got, instead of E at the top, we've got D, and instead of E at the bottom, we've got D. Now this is what's called double drop D tuning. Fantastic, so much fun, especially for songs like Queen's Big Bottom Girls. Great song, sounds so chunky with that sort of tuning. And again, amazing for electric guitar. Let's check out how it sounds on the acoustic though. Now there are so many different other types of tuning there. You can actually have tunings like open A tuning, open G tuning, and what they mean is you actually tune all of the strings so that when you strum normally, it sounds like you're strumming this, a G chord. Or it sounds like you're strumming an A chord for open A tuning. There's other tunings like E flat, standard tuning, and what that means is instead of an E, what note do you think it's going to be? That's right, it's an E flat. So every string moves down a semitone, it moves down a fret. So E becomes E flat, A becomes A flat, D becomes D flat, so on and so on. Now, in E flat standard, standard means that you're changing all of the strings. Drop tuning, like that drop D tuning, means that you're just dropping that string down. You're just dropping the 6th string down. Now, why a lot of people like E flat standard tuning is it puts the guitar down a semitone, so it means that all of your chords, they'll still sound great, they just sound that little bit darker, that little bit mellower, and the strings will be easier to bend because they are that little bit looser. Now, if you want that feel, you want that looser sort of a vibe, but you don't want to change the tuning, you can even get sets these days that are 9.5 sets. So standard string sets, you could think of them as 10 gauge, but we will talk about that in another video, 10 to 46, but you can get them in between. So they give you that E flat standard sort of feel, but it sounds like a normal guitar. Well, on for make it to the end, definitely try out drop D tuning and drop double D tuning at home. And if there's other tuning styles that you like, definitely leave a comment below. Now, if you can't wait for this weekly series and you want more lessons right now, head over to the Grade 1 playlist for all your theory and learning chords and learning how to read and write all of your own music. It's so good. So there's over 100 videos in that playlist already. Otherwise, check out this video that I've selected just for you. Now, if you do want to contact me, you want to tell me how you're going, or you want some more tips and advice, there are the social networks below. You can send me a message on Facebook, all that good stuff. But I've been Pat from Pat Dave Music. I'll see you all again.